All right, so how does the AI work? And I'll show you live how this works. So pretty much to get the perfect connection for you, there's three questions that the AI will ask you inside of here. It's where would you like people to be located? So for example, I want to meet people in Australia. Our Business Wealth 99 is licensed to work in Australia. So Australia is where I want to meet connections. Where you don't want to meet connections, so I don't want to meet anyone in the USA because our business is not licensed to work in the USA. So that just saves and makes it easier that I'm meeting people in Australia.
This is the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast for entrepreneurs and business owners looking for cool online tools, apps and strategies to make business easy online. My name is Nick Cree and I'm your host. Each episode features a guest expert demystifying the online universe, sharing inspirational ideas and providing tested real-world strategies to help you get the most of what's available online to grow your business today. Don't be a slave to your business, get your business working for you. Subscribe now and get some great content and ideas for you and your business today. All right, well, this brings us through to our topic for tonight. We've got Darren, who's patiently waiting there for me to finish talking so that he can get in and come and talk to us about one of the social media platforms out there called LinkedIn. So how many people here are on LinkedIn? Yep. How many people think it's a social media platform? Well, it sort of is, but it's sort of not as well too. There are some specific ways to use it that are quite different. That's what Darren's here to talk to us about tonight. He's going to be talking to us about how to build trust in a digital age.
And how they did it. These are the titans who turned speed into snaps.
All right, let's...
10th is fabulous.
There we go. Fantastic. So for those that don't know Darren, he's got a little sign on his wall behind him called Wealth 99. He is a digital asset custodian expert. He works with financial companies and with clients in, how do you actually keep your assets all safe? He's an ex-football player. So those of you that are probably as old as I am may remember sort of seeing him running around a field in very short shorts and a tight singlet. There are photos online of him if you want to sort of search him up, but he did play in Adelaide or South Australia, and I think he might have gone to Melbourne as well too. But he is a prolific networker. He is very sort of genuine on LinkedIn. So if you do connect with him on LinkedIn, you'll see all of the connections that he's got and how he helps people. So he's very visible in terms of how he helps people on the platform as well too. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you tonight Darren Bartsch to come and talk to us about how to use LinkedIn.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Nick, and welcome everyone. Nice to see some familiar faces here this evening. A quick question. Who here has been spammed on LinkedIn in the last week or two? Just had a random message sent to you trying to sell you something. Yeah, even worse, the ones that you allow to become friends with, and the next message back is they're trying to sell you something. I look at that as you ask someone out on a date and you're asking them to marry you on your first date. It's just not a situation that you really want to be in. So there is a better way to do it on LinkedIn. Now, I'm not what I would say a LinkedIn expert. If you're looking for someone to teach you about LinkedIn in particular, I'm not the person to do that. I just want to teach you and share with you a tool that I've found out about in the last couple of years that I'm using to my advantage, and hopefully you can use it to yours as well. All right, who here does a lot of marketing? Yeah, does anyone here do what most people doing push marketing, where you're putting something out there and trying to get someone to come to you? What if there was an easier way where you could do, it's a bit like at the moment, I think there's a couple of places that are really quiet. Once upon a time, they used to be busy. One is your letterbox. The other one is using the power of credibility or pull marketing to be able to make the contacts that you want or get introduced to the people that you want to get introduced to. And one of the apps I want to share with you tonight, I look at it as probably it's a marketing tool that I use to my advantage to be able to get connected with people that I want to get introduced to. Now, a lot of the stuff tonight that I want to share with you this is to your advantage to grow your network. So the tool that I want to share with you is for you to grow your network. I want you to be out there for yourself tonight, thinking about how you can use this for yourself. Yes, at the end of the day, we're all in business and we all want something out of it. So there's a couple of things I just want to share in lead up to before I share some slides. I think there's a way to do business that is a little bit different. I don't know if has anyone ever seen this book? It's a little bit old and tattered now. Has anyone ever seen this book called The Go-Giver? Yep. If you don't have this book, I highly encourage you to jump on Amazon or your local bookshop, go buy a copy of this. Certainly change your thinking if you haven't read it before. All right, you okay if I share my screen now, Nick?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, beautiful. There's some hands up that we can see the screen. Yep, perfect. So tonight I'm just going to talk about the My Most Trusted app and how to build trust in a digital age. Some of this is going to be hands-on as well. I'm going to talk a little bit about theory, and then I'm going to talk about, we're going to open it up, do some live demonstrations. I know there's some people on the call here that I'm also having my network, and I might even call upon you guys as well in here to play with me so that I can do a good live demonstration so you can see how this works and know where to go next to be able to get some information. So at the end of the day, we're talking about My Most Trusted. So what if you could get introduced to someone who you really wanted to talk to as your perfect ideal client or your ideal referral partner, and you could get introduced to them by someone who you trust, who has a trusted connection in their network, who is your perfect connection? Would that make life easier to do business? For me, absolutely. Hopefully everyone on this call, that would make life so much easier. So you're asking somebody else, using someone else's credibility and leveraging that to be able to get access to your perfect connection. So that's what we're going to be talking about this evening with My Most Trusted. So why is trust everything today? Well, we're in a world of AI at the other end of LinkedIn. Who here, another question for you, who here knows every one of their connections on LinkedIn personally? I would probably say no one. I can't see the screen, but I would probably say no one. That's the thing. I'm there to do business and try to meet connections, but most of the time we don't know them. So how can you build trust with other people inside of your network? And it's really important. Most people want to do business in a noisy world with people that they trust. People buy from, refer, and work with those that they trust. And authentic trust drives up opportunity. It's not ads or cold outreach. Yes, they do have our place in the marketplace of marketing, depending on the types of business that you're in. But particular ads are really important for some types of product or service that's out there. But if you could get to the person that you wanted to, who was your perfect customer, and you could use trust to be able to get there, that would make it so much easier. So our biggest problem, I started business, I'm a bit like one of those old dinosaurs. I started business in 1991. Back then, there was nothing that was digital. It was all about your reputation back then. And I believe reputation is still everything nowadays, just that it's happened to have gone digital as well as physical. So utilizing your reputation digitally, I think, is really important. So referrals are getting harder and harder to come by. And LinkedIn is really crowded and competitive. So there's what are we up to now, Nick, with LinkedIn? Is it 1 billion users now, or somewhere close to that?
Crazy. Yep.
Yeah. And it's really crowded, and lots of people are doing LinkedIn the old way, which is, obviously make friends with people, send out DMs, and try to get their attention. And it's tough to really stand out, even if you're really good out on LinkedIn nowadays. Putting out content is one thing, but getting connected to the right people is another. So your credibility really needs to be seen, not just claimed out there in the marketplace. So I want to introduce you to My Most Trusted. I'll explain how that works shortly. It's about getting verified endorsements or golden recommendations, and so that you can display them on your profile. It's also about building your own private trusted network. At the end of the day, like I said, I want you to be really selfish here, and it's all about you and building your own trusted personal network. And I just want to explain roughly how this works. So obviously it's getting endorsements, getting warm introductions, building a trusted network of your own. And it doesn't have to take a long time to do this, set it up or maintain it. It's actually quite simple. So let me just give you the concepts and what's in it for you. So let's talk about you and LinkedIn. So solely tonight, this is all about LinkedIn. It's not about other social media. It's just about LinkedIn. So you are going to utilize LinkedIn to your advantage to grow your network. So right now on LinkedIn, you have your network. Everyone's just said that they don't know everyone that's currently in their network. So it's really difficult to know who you could know, like, and trust, or who knows, likes, and trusts you, because we're adding connections into our network. The My Most Trusted community has a trusted network. I think it's over 56 or 57,000 people now. So to add connections into the My Most Trusted community, you actually have to vouch for that person. So you have to say, hey, I trust that person, and they come into that My Most Trusted community. So what we're going to do is use your network, the My Most Trusted community, and we're going to use their extension and that, which we'll go through live in a minute to show you how you can grow your network. So has anyone walked into a room networking and, there might be 40 or 50 or 30 people there, and you go, who do I want to speak to? Who in that room is my ideal customer? So what if there was an easy way where everyone on their head, say, had a number rated as a 1 to 10, being 8, 9, or 10 being your ideal connection? Would that make it easy for you to be able to find the right people to have a chat to? Yes, it would. Yes. So utilizing AI, because AI is the flavor of the moment at the moment, I'll show you how you can utilize AI with this tool to find and rank and rate who your ideal connections are, and they'll be different for everyone. So in the My Most Trusted community, there'll be people that are your ideal connections. There'll be people that who know, like, and trust you in that community, who will have people in their network who will be your ideal connections. And what we're going to do is to be able to match them up. So obviously 8, 9, or 10 on the screen, you can see there are your ideal connections. So if you could have someone that's in the My Most Trusted community and someone who is a trusted connection in your community, you can either be introduced to them, or you can introduce them to somebody else inside of who is looking for that right type of connection themselves. So for example, you might know Brenda and you also know Martin. They don't know each other, but you can introduce them to each other because they're a perfect fit for each other. And utilizing the My Most Trusted extension and that, you can do that and in a couple of steps right there. When you make that introduction, it'll send an email to all three parties. It'll also automatically build a LinkedIn message to be able to connect the two together, and also has the ability there to put a post out. Because whilst you're building your own private network and your own private community, there are also people in your community who need to know about some of the introductions that you're making, because they may not know about these people that you're making introductions to, but they could be a perfect fit for their community. So it's all about helping grow your network and also helping other people grow their network. All right, so how does the AI work? And I'll show you live how this works. So pretty much to get the perfect connection for you, there's 3 questions that the AI will ask you inside of here. It's, where would you like people to be located? So for example, I want to meet people in Australia. Our business Wealth 99 is licensed to work in Australia. So Australia is where I want to meet connections. Where you don't want to meet connections, so I don't want to meet anyone in the USA because our business is not licensed to work in the USA. So that just makes it easier that I'm meeting people in Australia. And the third question, and this is where you just need to be specific as the types of connections that you're looking for, whether it be a client, a very specific type of client. So as you can see there, I've written there that I want to meet wealth investors because that's our ideal client. Someone that's looking from a wealth investment perspective, crypto investors, self-managed super funds. So they're the very specific keywords that I'm looking for. And I'll show you how that then will rank everyone inside the community up to, 1 to 10 on the types of connections and where they're suited for me. All right, so let's do a bit of a live demo, Nick, and let's have a bit of a play around here. Right, can everyone see me there? If I go there. All right, so we've got, actually, I think, who else have we got on the call here that I know? We've got Alban. Yeah. Is Kel still on this call? Is Kel still on there?
Yeah, mate, I'm here.
There you are. Perfect. All right, so play with me, Alban and Kel, just for a minute, and I'll do an introduction to each other. So I'll do it as if I'm doing Alban. I'm going to introduce Alban to Kel. Do you guys know each other, by the way?
Oh, we're long lost friends, mate.
Oh, good. All right. So it's perfect to play with me then. All right. So how it works is to make an introduction is really simple. I have to know both people to be able to introduce them together. And so from there, I pretty much can do it a couple of ways. So I can either go straight to Alban's profile. And on there, there's like a little introduction button here. And I can introduce Alban directly to
Kelvin, mate.
Kelvin. Thanks, matey. Kelvin.
Double L.
Where are you?
Double L.
Ah, there we go.
There
There
I
you
am.
are. There you go. So the AI is then going to go and pretty much build the connection for us. So it's going to have done an AI generated profile there for Kel, and it's going to have an AI generated profile there for Alban. So this is where we're going to use the power of AI to be able to help us make that introduction. And then we can also make it personal, and the reasons why we want to introduce them. So let's just say that I believe you two are going to be, is because you would make great referral partners, or whatever you want to write in there, okay? So then pretty much you just click the button to introduce. So what's going to happen now is the email is going to go to both of them automatically, and it's going to build an introduction in between on LinkedIn Messenger. You can send that. And then from there, it'll automatically build a message that I can post up on LinkedIn should I wish to. So it gives you the opportunity to be able to then share that with my personal community. So I'm saying, hey, here's Kel, here's Alban, and I'd like to introduce them to my community, because there may be people in my community that need to meet them, and now they didn't know about them earlier. So now that I'm helping them be introduced to my community. So I'll put you guys out there and do a post for you. Perfect. Where the power of all this is, I believe the power of the My Most Trusted app is what we would call the second level. So you have, so what I'm going to do here is, for an example, say I'm looking for an accountant. I'm just going to type in the word accountant. So what I'm doing is I'm asking the AI now to go through and search the database to find out who in their network of all the people that I've set are my trusted connections have accountants in their network that could be perfect for me. And what's going to happen is it's going to go through here and put a rating on all of these people based on the AI that I said earlier of those three different parameters. And based on 1 to 10, are they a good connection for me? So obviously I'm looking for, 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. So there's no one there at the moment. So let me go through and find to the next page. Yeah, looking down there, even if it was a 6, because I know Troy. So I could ask, so what you do then, the power of the third party is utilizing someone who's a trusted connection of you to make an introduction to the person that's on the screen there. So I could say to Troy, because I know Troy very well, I believe that Megan with connections. And I can send that off to Troy. And now Troy can either agree or disagree, whether he wants to introduce me or not. That's totally up to Troy. And then from there, what Troy can do is push a button inside of here and pretty much make that introduction for me the same way. So it's a really simple and easy way for you to be able to use the power of credibility to be able to connect up with the right sort of connections. So let's, Nick, let's do an example of, let's see if there's someone in my network who might be the perfect fit for you. So who are you looking to connect with?
Actually, interesting enough, I'm looking for bookkeepers.
Bookkeepers? Okay.
And I know that Troy's in that industry, but I'm already connected to him.
Yeah. So let's go bookkeepers who are in probably my first level. No, actually, probably my second level, because I know quite a few bookkeepers. Let me see if I can find some bookkeepers in my network for you. Actually, just while that's sort of running that search, I just want to go through a really cool part of the most trusted network. Who's on online webinars on a regular basis? Most people. Who uses Zoom fairly regularly in networking rooms? There's a really cool feature that I like with my most trusted. And you know, this dead screen of Zoom, you know, you log into the webinar tonight, it's like a dead screen, there's nothing there. Well, my most trusted have this little feature whereby you can go and see all the participants who are in the room who are already on my most trusted. For example, oh, hi, Gordon. I didn't realize you were on here. Nice to see you. I saw Janine earlier, Alban, Kelvin, and Fred. So we're all connected or trusted connections. And then you have the ability here to be able to see in their network while you're sitting on this call, who's there, who's a perfect connection. Like there's a perfect example. So Kel, you know someone called Darren Threadgate. He'd be a perfect connection for me. So I could send a message through to Kel, request an introduction, and I'm sitting here on a networking call, and you're already checking out who in someone else's network that's on the call with you could be able to make a connection for you. Would that be helpful for people?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like that one there, like Paul McInerney would be the same for Fred. So they're all pretty much 8, 9s, or 10s, and then it's just finding the right person. When you have a situation here, like there's multiple people who might know the same connection. The good part about it is, who do you think would be the best person to make that introduction for you? Because you could go and knock on the door yourself, or you could have someone else open it for you. I think it's more powerful. I remember listening to a guy in Canada a few months ago. We were talking about my most trusted, and we're on a super connector call. And he was saying on that call, he said, my next door neighbor, there's a guy I want to go and catch up with. I've known of him for 20 years, but my next door neighbor is best friends with him. And the guy who has known him for 20 years also knows the guy he wanted to meet, but his next door neighbor has known him for 30 years. So he said, instead of me knocking on the door, yeah, sure, I know of him and he knows of me, but it's better to get someone who knows someone who has the credibility to do the introduction for you. I think that's the power here. You're utilizing the power of credibility and someone else's credibility to be able to open that doors for you. I think that's probably the whole key part about this. All right. Any questions on that so far, Nick? Anything that just while I'm going through here?
All right, just sort of seeing anything in the chat there that people have dropped in, just having a look through that. Or if you do have a question, pop up your hand,
yeah,
or a comment. And you've got Darren here with the app, and there's probably a whole lot of stuff he hasn't spoken about yet that he's forgotten about, but makes it really helpful. All right, what have we got? Loving it so far.
Cool, that's good. All right, so highly encourage everyone who hasn't used this yet, and I'll share how you can go and check it out for free. And if you like it, fantastic, you can upgrade to use it from there. I just think for me, this is the only tool I use on LinkedIn now. I just think the power of credibility is everything now. The ability to be out, like I had a meeting today, and that meeting was someone that I didn't know in Sydney, and I was introduced by a third party today. And the gentleman who I spoke with, it was like it was a really warm call because of the introduction from that third party. That person had set it up really well, and so we had a great call. We were able to not only I think we'll do some business together, but we can help each other as well and do some referrals for each other at the same time. So it's not just about what you can get out of it, it's about what you can give to your network as well. I think that's half the battle out there in the world that we're in a business world. It's dog eat dog. Everyone's out there for themselves. So I think it's really important in this world, go give us style, to be able to do things for other people as well. So if you can open up a door for somebody else, that also adds to your credibility at the same time, because people will be talking about that. So the more value that you can add to your network, whether that be introductions, knowledge, or be able to do something to help them grow their business, I think that adds value to your business as well. Adds value to your network. Because at the end of your day, yeah, I think your network's everything. I think that for me, over the last 35 years in business, network is everything. Anyway.
There's just a comment in chat which is probably worth exploring, Darren, and just from Bruce there. It surely depends on how many of my network are in my most trusted, doesn't it?
Yeah, so when you're using the tool, you're adding your network into my most trusted. That's the thing with this. So if you've got, I don't know, probably everyone on the call's got at least 500 connections inside of LinkedIn. If there's 50 people that you know inside of your LinkedIn connections that you can say, hey, I vouch for them, because I look at every connection that I add into here, I've either met or I know personally, or I've had a meeting with, or most of them I know quite well. So, and I could actually go in there and I could vouch for the introduction that I'm going to make. So the power of the whole thing is, you know, if you add in, say, 50 connections, so like, for example, I've added 500 in there. I've got about, I don't know, 2,500 in my network on LinkedIn. I don't know them all. So I've added in 500, but what that's done is opened up nearly 9,000 people who I can now ask those 500 people, could you do an introduction for me to somebody inside of their network? And I think that's where the power is, because somewhere in there is going to be an ideal connection for me. If you added in, say, 50 people and then every one of those in your network had added 50 people, you've got 2,500 or more people inside of your network. This is, I think, this is where the power of that credibility comes in, because you're utilizing someone else's close connection with other people to be able to make that introduction to you. And it just makes it warm and easy. Hopefully that answers that question for you.
We have a hand up there with Aldrin.
All right.
Thank you. Yes, I'm loving this, Darren. Really interesting. I've had my most trusted for a while and really haven't been using it properly. So it's great to see what's possible. What's the main differences between the free and the paid version? And are you on a free or paid here?
I'm on a paid, yeah. I'm on a paid version. So one of the functions is this live community activity. You get to see everything all the introductions that have been done or people that have been added in. What I like about this is, based on your AI or your ideal connection, all of these people that have been added to the community or been introduced, you're getting ranked on whether they're an ideal connection or client for you right here. So all of these are obviously a 1, but there'll be somewhere down here that there'll be some good quality numbers somewhere there that I can then turn around and click on it and ask someone to introduce me to them. So in the free version, you only get 3. That's it. It's more about the volume of use. So if you're going to use it all the time, you'll want to use the premium version, because everything's open for you. The free version has only got, you know, a minimal intakes of what you can do. The AI it's only got minimal versions of that as well. So the premium version just unlocks everything for you, so and all the functionality. I can show you where that is here. It's actually got it on the mobile, on my most trusted website, somewhere down the page there. Free offer, and it's got some information there on all the premium benefits. There we go. There they are. They're on the screen if you can see that. Yeah.
Yes, got it. Okay.
Just so you also know that the new premium version's got all the CRM connections into it for all CRMs, but it's also got the GHL integration, which will be released, you know, later this month or the next month.
Fabulous. That is really good news.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's straight into GHL, isn't it? So your database can come straight out of here, straight into GHL. So that's very handy. So,
just a question, Darren, about permission. Do you need people's permission to add them into your most trusted?
No, you don't. No, you don't need permission from them. So basically what you're doing here is you're building your own private network. So when you add someone in, you're basically saying that you vouch for that person. So you could have someone, hey, it could be, I've added you as a trusted connection, Nick, but you haven't added me because you don't really like me. So everyone's network is different, you know. But no, you don't need permission.
So just because it's in the My Most Trusted doesn't mean you're actually talking to them, communicating with them, emailing them, or anything like that. They just happen to be in your network and, you know, available to have that conversation with, as you could if you just had them on LinkedIn.
Yeah, if you were in, I look at this tool as it's really a community of trusted connections, people who you can vouch for, Nick. So I wouldn't be adding someone in here that I don't know. I wouldn't be someone I've never met before, someone who's just hit me up on LinkedIn. I wouldn't be adding them in here. No.
So effectively, this is a way of curating your contact. So like LinkedIn
Yes.
is just everybody, you know, can connect with you, and they often do. And then you end up with sort of people spamming you and all that sort of thing there. So, you know, become quite circumspect as to who you accept connections from. But this one takes it to another step further. These are people that not only have connected with you, these are people that you know, like, and trust effectively, right?
Ultimately, yes. This is your own private network of trusted connections because you want to use this to your advantage, Nick. So you want to use the trusted connections that you know. There's a marketing system that's been out there for what, 50, 70, 80 years called network marketing. What do they do in network marketing? They use the power of the third party to do the introduction or do the presentation. It's no different here, using power of somebody else's trust and credibility to be able to grow your network. So the more trusted connections you put in here, the more it opens up your network to more trusted connections, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where the power is. The power is in that second degree. That's where the power is for you to be able to find your ideal connections and your ideal referral partners. Yeah. And the more value you can add for somebody else and they can vouch for you, the more they're looking for you as well. So I look at this as a network of trusted people who are going to vouch for each other. So we're building it. We don't want a community where there's AI bots in there who are messaging people. We don't want to actually go out there and spam people. We want to build a community where we can vouch for somebody else and make that real life connection to somebody else who could add some value to their life, whether it be a client, a referral partner, or somebody that they could then introduce to somebody else to add some value in their network. We want to build value in our network here. And I look at this tool as a good way to be able to help do that. So in some ways you're being selfish because you want to grow your network, but other ways you want to, it's powerful because, you know, you're building that trusted connections network, like you were saying earlier.
Aldwin, you've got another question?
So ways to build trust, it says there, you know, give recommendations, introductions. What are some other ways to build trust on here to build that rating?
So in here, there's a tool here called Golden Recommendations. So Golden Recommendations, another way of saying that you vouch for somebody. So a way that, obviously, let me just show you how to do that. So I think, have I done one for you, Alvin? You and I have known each other for how long? 10 years? Long time.
At least, I think, maybe 15.
All right. Yeah, it's been a while. So let me type in, see if I've done one for you. All right. I'll just show you how that's done. I might have already done one for you. So this system uses a system called Golden Recommendations, which is saying that you recommend or you would vouch for somebody else. So let me have a look for that. Sorry, just bear with me. I've just got an animal at my door that wants to get out. Just bear with me.
It's always an animal that sort of interrupts things, animals and children.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
I'm looking at animal action events on the screen.
Yeah. All right. So let me do one for you just to show, because like Alban and I have known each other, like I say, for many years. Let me just type in here. How I'll do that is just type in a golden recommendation. And that'll show on your profile there that I've given you, I recommend you. The recommendations where they would normally done in other platforms might be written. This one's done with a thumbs up to say, hey, I vouch for that person. There we go. It also normally would pop up with a little text message that would come on your profile to let you know what I've just done. Because I refreshed the page, I missed that. Sorry about that.
Awesome. That's a great little system, isn't it? And how does it compare to Sales Navigator?
Totally different tool. So Sales Navigator, obviously using the power of the whole LinkedIn network to be able to find people then that you are doing probably push marketing campaigns towards. So totally different outlook and totally different outcome. Whereas this is all about pull marketing using the power of power of credibility inside of LinkedIn through this network of inside of LinkedIn, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Two different tools getting two different outcomes.
Beautiful.
So if you need to do the Sales Navigator is a great tool for that to be able to, do marketing campaigns towards. But this is great for just finding those ideal connections inside of your network that you mightn't have even realized that were there, and then being able to go ask someone to do that introduction for you. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So often one of the challenges is wondering who is a good connection for you. And it's either going to be your direct client, or it's going to be people that have they're also working with the same sort of client that you're working with. How does this tool help you to identify, those people that are working with the exact sorts of people that you want to work with?
Yeah, good question. So you're talking more along the referral partner line there, are you, Nick? So someone who you might be able to, might be in, so like if you're in one section of marketing, you might want someone who's a video editor, or you might want someone who is, so you're in the same industry, working with the same sort of client, and possibly
it could be that, or it could be the example that I had for bookkeepers. Because I teach people how to use some of the AI tools that are out there and how to use them effectively. Business people that are, sort of starting to grapple with that there and looking for some help with it. Often bookkeepers are working with exactly the same sorts of people that we would be working with in terms of our programs. So they become good connections. So one of the difficulties with it is that any good bookkeepers there will sort of guard their client base pretty closely, as they should. And so just doing a cold reach out on LinkedIn to a bookkeeper and connecting to them can be more difficult. But if you grab some, if you can get introduced to someone, in my instance, who's a bookkeeper that's dealing with the small business market, that's a great introduction to get into, start to have some of those conversations. But it's often finding people that I can identify, one, who is a person that would have the sorts of clients I deal with, and two, how do I get to them?
Good question. So what you could do, Nick, inside of this for yourself, right? Because if I type it in, it's not going to work for me. But if you were in here, you would type in, say, bookkeeper inside of My Most Trusted, and you would type second level, and you would find out who in your second level are bookkeepers that someone that your first level person might know. So I might be your first level, and you might be saying, like, I'm going to search through Darren's network to find out who he knows that are bookkeepers, and then I can make that introduction for you, if that makes sense. So you're using the power of the third party connection and their credibility to introduce you to that bookkeeper. So instead of you knocking on the door with LinkedIn and doing direct sales messages to them, you find out somebody who knows the bookkeeper direct, who has a relationship, and you ask them to introduce you. Now you've got a warm introduction. Now it's up to you and your personality and your business whether or not you get on with that connection when the introduction's made. Does that make sense?
All right. Yes, it does. Yeah. In fact, I'm just on my other computer at the moment with LinkedIn up, and I've done exactly as you've told me. And there are some bookkeepers there that I already know. Actually, there's some there that let me do this one here. There's one that I know that I don't appear to be connected to. So I can request an introduction from Darren Bartsch, right?
Absolutely.
And so if I say, can you connect me
to
Diana, which is who this person is. request introduction. Okay, so that has gone through to you now.
Yep. You can also do, if you want to search someone in your who's a trusted connection in your network and just find out who in their network is, you know, some ideal potential partners for you. You can type in the trusted connection of, and play around with some keywords until you find sort of the right sort of connection, whether it be in the job title. There's also some advanced searches here. So they might be in particular industries or job title or keywords, or, you know, they might be, you know, it depends on what you're looking for, you know, so it will depend on how you expand the search out to find the right type of connections that you're looking for.
So in fact, you can get quite granular in this too, to seek out people that are quite specific people in specific industries.
Yeah, like I
specific
quite often use like the country title, because I want like Australia, and I might use Queensland, looking for accountants who are like really good connections for us, and come in here and put accountant. And so I need to remove Kel's name there. So you can come down right down to, you know, the city or the country, the state, the type of industry they're in, and then find out, like there's an example of that, and I could ask the 3 people there to do an introduction for me if I needed to. But that's only, I'm just searching Kel's database there. If I turned off Kel, and I can, you know, granularly bring this down to whatever you want to search. So the aim is you're searching the network to find, you know, whether it be a referral partner or potential clients who you could be introduced to directly. Yeah.
Well, there you go. I know Patrick Woodcraft, so I can introduce you to him.
Yeah. So did you just ask me to do a introduction for you?
I did. Yeah. Yes, it's gone through.
Okay, cool. I'll show you how that works while we're live on here. Yeah. You did it through the tool there?
I did do it through the tool. Yeah.
Yeah. Too easy. There you go. So pretty much you have a choice when someone asks you for a recommendation to be able to do an introduction. You can say yes or no. So if you don't want to do it, you can put a reason why you don't want to do it. But obviously I know Diana, and I'll introduce you, Nick. And what will happen is you push the button, AI will go and write the 2 introductions.
So the AI tool's pulling the introductions from your profile of each person, right?
That's it, exactly. Yeah. What was the reason why you wanted to meet her? It should be a good potential referral partner for each other.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So this is a good reason why all of us should be in our LinkedIn profiles to make sure it's up to date, and you know, sort of talks about exactly what you do, because this is where it's the AI is pulling the.
It's pulling all that. Yeah, it's pulling it all in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then pretty much that introduction you just asked me for, just pushed a couple of buttons and it'll be sitting in your inbox. You'll have a message that's coming through now on LinkedIn that's just been built. When it gets there in a minute, it's a bit slow.
Let me just refresh. Yeah.
Check your inbox. Is there an email in there already?
On email. Yeah. Let's have a look at that.
Should be sitting
there. We go. Yep.
It's done.
It's in the email. Yep.
Yeah. Done. Very simple.
Simple as that. There we go. Darren Bartsch has just introduced me to Diana.
Fabulous. So get in. Let me just go back to the slides to show you where you can get a little bit more information about this.
Oh, can I just ask one thing? You've got the Trustometer, the MMT Trustometer. Tell us about that. How does that work?
So this is like helps people, teach them how to network. So a lot of the times people think networking is all about take. So each time you go through each level, it has some instructions over here on what you need to go do to go to the next level. So you have to do some golden recommendations or give a recommendation to somebody. You have to receive some recommendations. You have to make some introductions to somebody else, request some introductions yourself, or add trusted connections. So each step of the way, it's teaching you how to network. And there's some videos up here which help show you how to do this. So each step of the way in that Trustometer, which is right here, will tell you what you need to do to go to the next level. And then the further you go up from Super Connector and Trusted Advocates, there's particular meetings that are on for all the Trusted Advocates and all the Super Connectors around the world. And it's amazing how giving each one of those people are, and they have people in their network who, you know, when you get to know them, open doors for you to all sorts of possibilities that I've found. I think you've been on a number of those too, haven't you, Cal, over the last 6 months? It's just so many connections, and so the ability to be able to help create partnerships and open the doors for referral partners and potential clients.
Yeah, what I really see is the huge advantage of this is one of the questions before is about, you know, do they have to be in the MMT network? The reality is you can reach out to hundreds of people through Sales Navigator, thousands of people through Sales Navigator, and you're still it's a hit and miss. The people are warm, they're introduced, 90% of the work's done before you even talk to them. And so you can send one message and you might send 10 messages and get 5 hits and get, and so it's a lot better use of your time.
Yeah. Totally. Couldn't agree more. So any other questions there before we just sort of wrap that up for you, Nick?
Oh, just have a look through chat. Anyone got any questions? Pop your hand up, open your mic. Any comments? How can you see it useful for your particular circumstances, or maybe not?
Not for everyone.
Are you there, Nick?
Yes. Paul.
Yeah, hi. Darren, look, thanks for that. Really good. I've flirted with my trusted advisor previously and not pursued it. What sort of success rate do you have in terms of acceptances when you do what you've just done now? What sort of percentage does the person actually accept and they be connected?
Yeah, great question. And that's going to be different for everyone, I think. Depending on the credibility of the people and the introductions that have been made. But I find 3 out of 4 at least where someone does an introduction where I'll be able to get in the door and get a meeting with somebody. It's super high. It's been for me. Can't promise that for everyone, but I think it's a lot higher than the ability of knocking on the door and, with the potential of having the door slammed back in your face because no one knows you. Yeah.
There we are. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Anyone else got any other questions or comments or?
I'll throw my 2 bobs worth into that little comment. I actually keep the stats on this. 78% is what. That's my stats. 78% of the people that I connect with either become a referral partner or I do direct business with. Now I don't do hundreds or thousands, but it's 78% of the connections I make through MMT, where my normal stuff is less than 10%.
Yeah. That says a lot, I think.
Massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite an amazing result, really, when you think of it. I must admit, I've had it there sort of just sitting there and it pops up every so often. And I've just looked at it again. I got a few people there, but I haven't really pursued it that much, I must confess. It's one of those things that's there. But I really like their core values because, like they say, they've always been an entity that's trying to stop the spamming and all that type of stuff and what they kind of believe in and creating that space between that. So I think that's quite important as well. And then, like you say, people can then build a network internally from that, but they're protecting you, like you say, from you don't have to accept or you're not pressurized, hey, I have to go and, support this person when I don't really feel comfortable about it. And if you read their stuff, it's very much like that. So I have to use it more, I must confess. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one part of your network, so that's your trusted part of your network that you're trying to, get potential partners and clients or potential types of clients that you're looking for, David?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. And like I said, I just riddled up, just using as an example, because obviously we work for business brokers and accountants and the likes, but yeah, you could just write that in and there's a whole like big chain of people just popped out there, you know what I mean? You think, oh, that's right. I have done a few things, but it's probably the opportunity hasn't been tapped into. Yeah.
Like
Can you
our
hear me?
space. Yes, who was that?
Yeah, Bruce Kennedy. Yep.
Hey, Bruce.
Yep.
I'm obviously missing something. If I have to invite my network to join MMT to make it work, don't I?
No, you don't have to do that. What you're doing, you've already got those connections that are already on LinkedIn, Bruce.
Yep.
So they're
Yep.
already there. So let's say, I'm going to make some numbers up here. So let's say you have 500 connections on LinkedIn.
Yep.
Right. Let's say only 50 of them were people that you know that you could vouch for. And the other 450 are just people that have hit you up and you've accepted them on LinkedIn.
Yep.
So there's 50. Yep. So what you do is you add those 50 as a trusted connection inside of this tool. Okay. And then you utilize that.
And they find out how.
Yeah, so when you add them, there is a message that you can send them that you say, hey, I'm building my own private network or whatever you want to write on it. There's templates already written, and they can say, hey, I'm building my own private network. Here's some information about it if you want to know. Or you don't even have to send them anything. You can just add them if you want to without even sending them. So it's totally up to you. Everything's driven by you. You have a choice on what you want to send them.
So
if you want to send them.
Will your LinkedIn profile identify that you're a member of MMT?
No, it won't. No, only when you download. So let me just exit out of that. So only when you download the app will this show up. Like I'm going to Auburn's profile here, and this is only showing up because I've downloaded it. And I know Auburn's downloaded it as well. So she's actually got the app as well. So if she didn't have the app, already downloaded, there would be nothing here about her. It would ask me, it'll be a little note over here saying add her as one of your contacts. So
and what did you only give her a 2 out of 10?
No, that's me and one other person. So Kim and I have now given her a thumbs up recommendation.
Right.
Yeah, given her a golden recommendation. So there's people in here that have, got 30, 40, 50, 80, 100 thumbs up that people have said, hey, they're good people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Eldon's a 10 all day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
So this is just another tool that you can utilize with like things like what Auburn's doing with her media and what you're doing with your social media and what you're doing with other marketing. This is just another way to be able to, for you to be able to get the right sort of people to meet as referral partners and potential clients. So thing to add or utilize for as a tool for that specific part of your marketing, if that makes sense, Bruce.
Yes, I'm definitely going to lean in more to this. It's great.
Yeah.
So really
Darren.
it's an organization tool, isn't it, Darren? So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, this is just the natural way of doing business. Like when I started my first business in 1991, it was all built on trust. It was all built on, the power of, someone else's credibility to be able to introduce you and open doors for you. The client says, hey, I'll meet my friend Mary, who's, a good potential client for you. So someone's opening the door. And that's what this is just doing in the 21st century.
I get that part of it. The power of that, but to ask Mary who's she going to introduce is where I'm stumbling.
No, it's not like that. It's not who's Mary is going to introduce. So you're really using it as a tool for yourself, right? So
Right.
Back to being selfish. So you decide to utilize this, you say add your trusted connections into it. And then basically all the people that you've added as trusted connections have a network. So all you're doing is opening it up so that you can find out who in your network is a potential person that you could be introduced to. So that's pretty much what the tool is. So you're utilizing your current network to be able to access someone else's network and get a warm introduction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. If I want to meet just left-handed opera singers and I put it out to my audience for whatever reason, so all of them between them will know a dozen left-handed opera singers. So they then tell me you should ring Mary and Joe and John.
Yeah.
So Mary and Joe and John, they get okay. Look, I'm just thinking it through.
So what would happen, Bruce?
I like the concept. I'm just trying to think of the.
So what would happen, Bruce, is if I knew a left-handed opera singer, and you could see on my profile that I'm connected to one, you could reach out to me and say, "Hey Nick, I see you know Mary Jane, who's a left-handed opera singer. Would you be happy to make an introduction for me?" And I'll come back and say yes or no, but I'll say, yeah, look, I know, Bruce, I'm happy to introduce you. So I'll then go and make an introduction. And so that's really how it works. You know me, she knows me. It's a warm introduction.
Okay.
That's it in a nutshell. Thank you, Nick.
Okay, thanks.
What about, I got a question here from AJ.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, look, I just wanted to ask if you haven't been using LinkedIn for quite a long period, like a number of years, and you're going back to it, are there things you should do first before you say utilize this MMT? Like, you know, should you start posting a bit more to, are there things like that you should do prior to using this network?
I think that would be a good idea, because this is in addition to, you know, people are going to come and research you and check you out utilizing the tool. Obviously, you want to have your profile looking good and appropriate to your business, or if you're an employee for whatever industry that you're in and whatever you're currently doing. So you want to make sure that's up to date. And obviously, posting some content would help them get to know you a bit before, you know, you're catching up, or whether they would say, hey, yes, I do want to connect with you. So I think it's important to have your LinkedIn, and that'll be a separate subject for someone who's a LinkedIn expert. If you don't know, I can recommend a few who are fantastic at it. I'm sure Nick can too, to be able to get your profile. It's because having that tool working for you, yes, you want to have your LinkedIn profile up to date.
Yeah. Okay. Terrific. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excellent. All right. Well, I think that's probably all we've got time for tonight. Any last words or recommendations or suggestions? Yep, we've answered that one.
Yeah. If you're going to use it, I would get into the habit of doing a few things on a regular basis. You know, endorsing people, making some introductions, recommending some introductions. Get in there and utilize the program that's there in place, but do it on a regular basis. Don't use it as a tool once and then put it away in the cupboard. I would suggest that, you know, building trust takes time. So like was just mentioned, get your profile up to date, put some regular content in there, add some value to your network. So at the end of the day, you know, the only currency we really have is built on trust, I believe, and that's, you know, probably the important part. So if you want to know some more information, just click on mymosttrusted.net. Go and check them out directly. You can download everything from there. All the basic details and information are on the screen. There's help videos there. If you need some help, please reach out. Do you want me to put my details on the screen there, Nick, if they want to reach out?
I'll pop it into chat if you like.
Cool. No worries. Yeah, reach out if you need some help, and feel free to reach out. Nick's going to put my link tree on there, and there's my calendar's there, my email's on that. Feel free to reach out if you've got questions after here. Reach out anytime. Happy to answer them for you from the experience that I've had with it over the last couple of years.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for coming on, Darren. I know you're sort of very busy, so this is the end of a busy day for you. And it's certainly been good for me as well, too, because there's some things in there that I've been meaning to sort of catch up with you and ask, but you've now answered my questions. And particularly that I'd be able to sort of find out, you know, people that are on Zoom, sort of getting their sort of connections. So, when you're on these Zoom meetings, actually being able to, to find it a bit more of the people that you're in the Zoom meeting with.
The key to that is that AI too, Nick. So and play around with it. If you're using it, play around with the questions, add information in there to get the right type of customer. So you get your numbering right. 1 to 10, you want to get the 8s, 9s, or 10s. If you're not getting those, play around with it till you find that ideal sort of connection. And then when you're in networking rooms, if you're networking online, fantastic. You have that tool in the background, and there'll be other people who are utilizing it, and you can find out who in their network and ask them to connect you while you're literally on that call.
100%. And you're a face on the screen. They already know you, and
exactly,
sort of perceived of knowing you. So
yeah.
Fabulous, excellent. So anyone that wants to reach out to Darren, his details are in the chat. In fact, there's a whole lot of details in chat for him, so you can reach out to him in any way, shape, or form. Now you've got a checklist that you're happy to give people. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And so that there is on your link. Is it the darrenbartsch.com?
If they just email me, my calendar and my email address is in that darrenbartsch.com. You'll find it there. So send me an email. I'll send you back a checklist that I find really easy and user-friendly on how to use this.
Fantastic. Excellent. All right, well, let's give Darren a virtual round of applause. Thanks very much for coming on the show tonight and sharing what you're obviously sort of passionate about in terms of connecting with people and doing it in a way that is authentic and generates that trust as well too. We do have a door prize tonight as well, and that's finally offered by you.
Thank you.
So tell us what that is.
So anyone if I'll give an hour of my time to be able to show you how to set it up. If you've set it up, how to use it properly, how to search and find your ideal connections in there, just doing everything the right way from the start. So hour and a half, whatever time we need to get that set up for you. Nick will be able to share with you how to book that time, and I'll give them my time to help you.
We'll connect at the end. Excellent. All right, well, let's bring up our wheel of names. Of course, everyone's name is in the wheel of names. You have to be in the room to win it. So let's spin the wheel, see who our lucky winner is tonight.
Isn't this a Channel 7 TV show?
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? Oh, look at that, Mary. Lucky winner tonight. You're still here, aren't you? Fabulous.
Hi.
How are you, Mary?
Great, thanks.
Excellent. Well done. We'll connect you with Darren tomorrow by email, and he can walk you through My Most Trusted.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Fabulous. Excellent. Mary's over in Hong Kong, so you've got a connection over in Hong Kong there,
awesome.
Darren.
Fantastic. Know a few people in Hong Kong. Could probably introduce Mary to a few.
Yes. All right. Well, that there is our session. So thanks again, Darren. Really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Pleasure.
And thanks everyone for sort of joining us tonight as well too. If you do want to watch this again, it will be up on the Smash Go YouTube channel tomorrow afternoon. So if you're not a subscriber there, the link is in the chat. So now's a good time to save that chat by clicking those 3 little dots on the top right-hand side. And that'll save it, and you've got all the links you can just sort of click through to. So we've got the YouTube channel, it'll be up there tomorrow. If you know someone else that would be interested in it as well too, then send them across to that YouTube channel. If you're not a member of the Business Owners Smashing Online Facebook group, now's a great time to go and join it. So just go across to the Facebook group, search for it, and we will accept you in there. And next week, what have we got next week? Oh, I think it is actually me next week. So I am your guest speaker next week. We are talking about some interesting strategies for lead generation in an age where it's becoming increasingly difficult to get to become visible organically online. We'll talk about some really good organic processes for lead generation. Some of these are just a little out of the box as well too. So you'll be able to get to sort of see some things that are working today that are out of the box as well. All right, well, that's our session for tonight. Thanks, everyone, for coming along. Thanks, Darren, once again. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Have a good night. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast. You can also find me on social media and online. Just search for Business Owners Smashing It Online and Nick Cree, spelled Nickcree, all one word. If you like this and want to hear more, subscribe now. Until next time, don't be a slave to your business. Get your business working for you.